The Atlanta Falcons are facing one of their most important draft decisions in years with the 15th overall pick. With hopes of making the playoffs high, they can't afford to make any mistakes this time, especially on defense. That's why there's so much excitement around this draft, and we're here to discuss it. Don't forget to hit that like button and stay tuned for all the updates. One name that's generating a lot of buzz is Michael Williams, and it's easy to see why. There's a shift happening in Flowery Branch, and if the draft goes as many expect, it could signal a new commitment to building a strong defensive line. So what makes Williams such an interesting prospect coming out of the University of Georgia? After 3 impressive seasons, he's not just about the stats, he has the skills that defensive coaches dream of. Standing at 6 feet 5 inches and weighing 245 pounds, he offers a versatility that few defensive ends in this draft can match. According to Nick Baumgardner from The Athletic, Williams embodies the essence of this draft class with his elite athleticism, untapped potential, and moments of brilliance, even if he hasn't been completely consistent. What really stands out to the Falcons is his quickness off the line. It's not just about speed, it's about how explosively he reacts in that first step, allowing him to pressure offensive tackles before the play even starts. These traits make him a dangerous player, especially in a division with mobile quarterbacks like Bryce Young and Baker Mayfield. The Falcons haven't had an athlete like this on the edge in years. While Leonard Floyd, the team's $10 million free agent signing, helps in the short term, he's 31 and only on a 1-year deal. Williams, on the other hand, could be a long-term solution. His sack numbers, 14 over 3 seasons, might not jump out at you, but that's because of how Georgia used him. He wasn't just a full-time pass rusher, he was part of a system that focused on containment and discipline rather than just piling up stats. What's more important is his ability to line up inside and create mismatches. Baumgardner points out that Williams can play as a 3 technique in a 4-man front, giving Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Albrecht a unique piece to work with, especially in NASCAR packages. This flexibility allows the Falcons to use Williams alongside Arnold Ebiketie, who excels as a speed rusher. Together, they could finally provide Atlanta with the diverse pass rush it has been missing for over a decade. And here's the kicker. Atlanta has never selected a Georgia Bulldog in the first round. Choosing Williams would not only show a shift in how the Falcons value pass rushers, but also break a strange trend of passing on top local talent. While all eyes are on Williams, head coach Raheem Morris has been careful not to reveal the team's plans during league meetings in Palm Beach. He stressed the importance of pass rush, but made it clear that they aren't locked into picking an edge rusher at 15. "You don't necessarily control the draft," Morris explained. "You want to address needs, but sometimes you have to let the board come to you." This uncertainty is part of a strategy. Morris has personally attended pro days at Georgia, Marshall, Ohio State, and Texas A&M. This isn't just routine, it's active scouting. He's seen top talents like Jalen Carter, Mike Green, JT Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer, Shamar Stewart, and Shamar Turner. These aren't just names, they represent the future of the Falcons. The Falcons are on the hunt for potential franchise players, and they're digging deep into this draft class. They're not just looking for flashy sack totals, they want players who can make a real impact. So how does Michael Williams compare to other prospects? His strengths lie in his versatility and consistency. While players like Shamar Stewart and Mike Green might impress with their testing numbers and Tuimoloau has shown big-game production, Williams has demonstrated NFL-level skills in almost every area. Plus, he comes from a pro-style system at Georgia, which gives him an edge. With the added benefit of local scouting familiarity, it's clear why he's climbing up Atlanta's draft board. But even with all this focus on defense, the Falcons are also dealing with one of the most unpredictable quarterback situations in the league. Kirk Cousins, the current quarterback in Atlanta, has been the center of trade rumors, especially involving the Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh Steelers. Recently, Diana Rossini and Jacob Robinson from The Athletic suggested that Pittsburgh might consider Cousins if their plans for a quarterback in the draft don't pan out, particularly since they don't have a second-round pick. However, this idea might be more speculation than reality. James Palmer from Bleacher Report reported that Arthur Smith, now with the Steelers and previously the Falcons head coach, still has ties to Atlanta but isn't pushing for Cousins. If Smith has done his research and isn't impressed, Pittsburgh won't make a move, no matter how logical it seems. Adding to the complexity is Cousins' no-trade clause. His camp reportedly won't even think about waiving it until after the draft, leaving the Falcons in a waiting game. This means Atlanta has to prepare for two scenarios, one where Cousins stays and one where he's traded after the draft. They need to balance this uncertainty with the urgent need to strengthen their pass rush. It's a fascinating situation. The Falcons are weighing the possibility of a quarterback trade while actively scouting top defensive talent. They're not just rebuilding, they're recalibrating. They've already moved on from veterans like Grady Jarrett and seem unlikely to bring back Matthew Judon. New signing Morgan Fox, who has 15.5 sacks over the last 3 seasons, is a good addition, but like Floyd, he's not a long-term solution. So what does all of this mean? If Michael Williams is available at 15 and the Falcons choose him, it would signal a strong commitment to building a versatile and dominant front that can keep up with today's mobile quarterbacks and disruptive offenses. But what if the Falcons don't choose Williams? If they decide to trade down or go in a different direction, that tells us a lot too. So I want to hear from you. What would you do with the 15th pick? Do you want Michael Williams? Should the Falcons finally take a chance on a Bulldog in the first round? And what are your thoughts on the ongoing Kirk Cousins situation? Share your opinions in the comments. As we look ahead, the stakes couldn't be clearer. The Falcons are at a true crossroads, balancing loyalty to proven veterans like Kirk Cousins with the need to bring in fresh talent and energy. Their defense hasn't cracked the top 10 in sacks since 2004, and Raheem Morris knows the numbers all too well. With only 31 sacks last year, it's clear that relying on players like Leonard Floyd and Morgan Fox, both over 30, isn't a long-term solution. That's why Michael Williams might not just be the right choice, he could be the only choice that makes sense. He has the versatility to play inside and outside, incredible quickness off the line, and experience against top competition. Williams fits exactly what Atlanta needs: dynamic disruption. Choosing him wouldn't just break the trend of avoiding edge rushers in the first round or Georgia players, it would send a strong message to the league that the Falcons are serious about building a defense that can win now. Meanwhile, the question about Kirk Cousins continues to linger. If the draft ends and neither Cleveland nor Pittsburgh picks a quarterback, the phone calls will start coming in. But remember, Cousins holds the power with his no-trade clause. If he's not interested in moving, Atlanta could be stuck with him longer than they expect, for better or worse. Here's the reality. With pressure on the coaching staff to deliver results and a fan base eager for real postseason hope, the Falcons' decisions in the coming weeks could shape the next 5 years. If they draft a game-changing defender and handle the Cousins situation wisely, this team could finally break through. So, should Michael Williams be the pick at 15, or do you have your eye on someone else in this talented edge class? Comment below with your draft choice. And if you want full coverage of every Falcons move, including trades and picks, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now. Go Falcons!